Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the class Buddhism 201, Introduction to Buddhist Meditation. Today's date is November 7th, 2022. Today is as I told you last time, today is the day for the midterm examination. Very important day. As we were discussing over the last 4 weeks, I guess, last 4 weeks, we have been looking at Buddhist meditation, the beginning and the principles of Buddhist meditation, as well as the development of Buddhist meditation, evolution of Buddhist meditation, and stuff like that. So what we are planning to do today is to overview or do a little bit of review of what we did over the last 4 weeks. To begin with, you should be able to remember that in the very first class, we were talking about the origin of Buddhist meditation in India. And you should be able to remember that there is a relationship between the Buddhist meditation and the previous meditation system in India. Previous meditation system, when I say previous meditation system, you should be able to remember that I'm referring to the Vedic tradition or the Hindu tradition. Actually, at that time, it was not called Hindu tradition, but Vedic tradition, based of the Brahmanic principles, Brahmanic teachings. Meditation was based on attaining calmness or tranquility of the mind through different practices. Basically focusing on breath, in breath and out breath. And that was the previous meditation practice, samatha, samadhi, right? You should be able to remember. And in Buddhist, when it comes to Buddhist meditation, Buddhism borrowed those practices. Remember, I told you that Siddhartha Gautama, when he left the palace, when he renounced his lay life, he went in search of 2 or 3 teachers. They were, at the time, during that time, they were the teachers who practiced meditation. That meditation is called the Vedic meditation or Samatha meditation. The Siddhartha Gautama, he was highly influenced from that tradition. He got the influence from that tradition, but he did not stop at that, and he went further, and he invented another style called Vipassana meditation. So over the last 4 weeks, we were discussing about the difference between Samatha and Vipassana, the other branch in the sense other system. And prior to that, we were talking about the definition of meditation, right? Definition of Buddhist meditation. You should be able to remember the term that we use in Buddhist meditation. Bhavana, Bhavana, right? Bhavana. So now you should be able to talk about Bhavana. And after that, we paid our attention to the question, why do we do meditate? Why do we do meditate? In Buddhism, according to Buddhist principles, why meditation is needed. Okay? And when you look at the definition, it itself says the need for meditation, right? Answer is there. Meditation or bhavana means mental culture. Mental culture. Getting rid of the, excuse me, getting rid of the bad or unwholesome states of mind. And in return, in place of all those unwholesome things, develop the wholesomeness in your mind. Good, wholesome things. So remember that Buddhist Bhavana is, the aim of Buddhist Bhavana is to achieve the wholesomeness of mind, to develop your mind so that it can eradicate, it can wipe out the basic poisons in ourselves. There are 3 poisons in ourselves. The 3 things are greed, hatred, and delusions. Greed, hatred, delusion. Because of these 3 things, we do all kinds of bad things. Desire, hatred, and delusion. Ignorance. So by practicing meditation, we are trying to stop those things, get rid of those bad roots, and instead we develop the opposite of those 3 roots. When you have the opposite of those 3 roots, that means you are developing, you have developed your mind to a certain level so that you can overcome suffering. So the last goal, the highest goal of Buddhist meditation is to overcome suffering and be free from suffering, or attaining Nibbana or Nirvana, the enlightenment. Enlightenment is possible only when you get rid of those 3 roots, the bad roots, poisonous roots, or what do you call them? Desire, hatred, and delusion. And then we were paying our attention to the development of Buddhist meditation over the last 26 centuries. It is a long subject, but still we just gave you an introduction, the development of Buddhist meditation. It has many branches, like Samatha, Vipassana, or Vipassana, insight meditation, and then different techniques in different countries, different lands, different settings. People have made some innovations, developments, and new discoveries. So over the last 26 centuries, Buddhist meditation has evolved from the very beginning to different status. So look at those things that we were discussing, okay? And then basically, I told you that there are 2 texts. First one is Anapanasati Sutta, discourse on in-breath and out-breath. There's a text in early Buddhist teachings which is called Anapanasati Sutta, the discourse on in-breath and out-breath, where it says there are like 16 exercises in that text. Based on your in-breath and out-breath, you practice meditation so that you can achieve the goals of whatever the goals that we were just discussing. And the other meditation is, no, other text is Satipatthana Sutta. Satipatthana Sutta means the discourse on mindfulness. So there are 4 bases of mindfulness, 4 mindfulnesses, and those 4 bases are discussed in this sutta, very early text. Based on those 2 texts, all other innovations and development has occurred over the last 26 centuries. So pay attention to those things in your midterm. And basically that is it. Over the last 4 weeks, we were talking about those things. So now get ready for the exam. Go through all those things. If you have the lectures with you, listen to them again and prepare yourself for the exam. You will get the midterm examination questions in your email. So as you have been doing, please write your answers and submit your answers within this week, from this Monday to next Monday. We have 1 whole week. Submit your answers and it will be done. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I don't think you have any question. So thank you so much. Good luck with your midterm.